This is Nissan in-game live. There's the legend, the Hall of Fame nominee right there. Ron Jaworski led the Eagles to a Super Bowl 1980 season. But enough of you, Jaws. Let's talk about the Eagles. You are the Eagles.
I want to talk about the Eagles.
7-6. That's the only good thing about this to me. 7-6 Eagles. That's the bottom line. The bottom line's the win, and hopefully they hold on to get it by 1 point. But it seemed to me that they wasted an amazing performance in the first half, at least the first quarter, by Saquon Barkley. That's one thing. He 4.6 yards per carry. He was gashing him for a time. And then on the other side, Jaws, their defense, the Eagles' defense, looked like their run D was nowhere to be found. And we talked about Kirk Cousins being able to stand back there like a statue, and he's still getting off.
Atlanta rushed the ball 18 times for 109 yards, and they moved the ball up and down the field. And that's disappointing. Again, Howie Roseman invests in that defensive line. The Capitals there, number one draft choices. They just can't stop the run. And they're getting gashed in that run game. They got to tighten that up no matter what Vic Fangio does at linebackers and secondary. If that defensive line doesn't play better, the Eagles aren't going to win this game. They got a 7-6 lead. Give them credit. They had a great touchdown drive. Jalen Hurts was phenomenal on that drive. He made a terrific throw to Smitty in the end zone. That ball, when I first saw the catch, it was behind him. I said, he almost missed him. But now I know why. When I saw the end zone camera, defenders across the field would have laid Smitty out. So he put in a good spot. He protected Smitty, got the touchdown.
With regard to Jalen Hurts, he has run for 51 yards, 8.5 yards per carry. Is it fair to assume that by any means necessary, and the run game is going to remain a large part of his repertoire?
Yeah, I think when he ran the ball, you're right. Part of his repertoire is the run. I thought he was prematurely leaving the pocket early. He was getting out early and then basically throwing the ball away or running the sideline to get rid of it. When he got a little gas going, put the pedal to the metal and taking it upfield, he started getting some yards. Of course, he had to in long yardage situation, but he converted some first downs. But I'll go back to maybe an old school football guy, But I think you got to stay with your reads downfield first. I think he's leaving the pocket too early. I think for the most part, protection's been very, very good. He just leaves the pocket early and kind of forced himself to run the football.
If I say to you, the protection's been good, but when I look downfield on some of the replays, they showed the end zone view looking upfield. It looked like many of the receivers and tight ends were covered, and I don't know what else he should have done in that situation when they showed it back.
And I think there were some situations where you would be correct. I think there was no one open down the field. The Falcons are doing a good job in the secondary, only rushing 4. They're getting deep in the secondary and not giving a big play. And let's face it, you got A.J. Brown not on the field. Smitty's come up with a big half. He's been the go-to guy, but I thought it was going to be the Britton Covey game there for a while. He caught the first 2 balls thrown by Jalen. But, you're not going to do much down the field with Britton Covey. But Smitty right now is the only go-to guy that Jalen has at his disposal.
And when you look at it, down the field was really a misnomer because other than Devontae Smith with an 18-yard reception, Grant Calcaterra with a 15-yard reception, that's as far down the field as any completion went from Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, they haven't really even attempted the balls down the field. And protection has been good. Once again, this is one of the premier offensive lines in the National Football League. And once again, Jalen Hurts does have time to throw the football, survey the field, but no one's getting open down the field. And it's depleted receiving corps right now without AJ. And you can clearly see the difference.
Kirk Cousins, 7 for 13. How about a blitz or two? For a goof. Just throw sense. Did you see any of that?
You want to shake him up a little bit?
Yes, we talked about that pregame. He stands there like a statue.
I don't think it's going to happen. I think Vic is not a blitzing guy. He will throw every once in a while a tendency breaker in there, but you can see he plays. It's kind of safe. And I tell you that when you look at Bijan Robinson, he can, that guy, he hits the hole. He shoots the hole in a heartbeat. He's going to break one in the second half. I'll tell you, he's been close to breaking them.
I know.
If we don't tighten up that defense line and linebacker gaps, he's going to break a long run.
7.2 yards per carry. What are the adjustments for the Eagles in the second half, Jaws?
Well, I think get back to Saquon Barkley. I mean, they ran the football. By the way, as I'm thinking fast forwarding that opening drive, kick the damn field goal.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Forgot to mention that.
It's fourth. What do we have to prove? I played the game for 17 years. At the NFL level, there's such a good feeling when you come off the field on their opening drive, any drive, literally, and put points on the board. Yeah, do you feel better if you score 7? How do you feel you get 0? Take the 3 points. So many these analytics and They analytics don't measure your heart. They don't measure, what's going on in your mind. To come off that field knowing you just went 70, 80 yards, okay, you didn't get a touchdown, you got 3.
Yeah.
And we just disdain it. We're going for 4th down and we don't get it.
Also, think about a 10-6 score right now instead of a 7-6 score.
Yeah,
right now.
I like that.
What about that play? I got to tell you, when the Eagles go for it on 4th down, I'm thinking based on their history, they're going to make it. And I'm thinking this is a long distance when it's 4th and short. It was 4th and 4.
Well, it wasn't 4th and short.
I'm saying
exactly. It's 4th and 4.
Right. Normally it's 4th and short. So I thought he must have something dialed up. It's going to work.
No, it didn't.
What do you think of the play call?
It didn't work.
Did not work.
Yeah.
Did not work. All right.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully second half.
We got the second half. It hasn't been a pretty game from an Eagles perspective to watch. I think our expectations are a little bit higher. But give Atlanta some credit. They've made some plays in this game. Kirk Cousins hasn't made any dumb mistakes yet, but he will. He'll throw a couple in the coverage for us. We'll grab him.
He's Kirk Cousins.
He'll make a couple. He'll throw us a couple.
He's got to. All right. Reminder: when the clock hits 0 after this game, flip it to NBC Sports Philadelphia. Don't miss it. Ron Jaworski, Barrett Brooks, Reuben Frank, Ashlyn Sullivan with interviews, John Clark with interviews, talking about a huge Eagles win and a 2-0 record.
Must see TV postgame show.
We'll see you postgame.